sunshine. Grab your coffee cup, come spend some time. I know it's early, the start of a new day. No need to worry, it's Local Cafe. Rise and shine, baby, wake and bake. Clear out your mind, baby, just take a break. Local Cafe. Chill out with us today.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the coolest, the calmest, and the chillest in the entire LCU. You're watching Local Cafe. Oh, what a night it was yesterday. What a few shows there were yesterday. A lot of hidden animosities. A lot of, I think, unresolved feelings. A lot of thoughts in heads that don't know the certainty of the future. But you know what? Cafe knows its future. Cafe knows what's happening. Cafe knows no matter what happens at the end of the day, the coffee cult is here to stay. I did not mean to rhyme. But anyways, as y'all know, I have my awesome, my beautiful, and amazing co-host, Miss Beans, that we're going to bring in. Good morning, Mrs. Beans.
Good morning. Ooh, Mrs. I like Mrs.
Hey.
Hopefully soon I'll be a Mrs.
Oh, shit.
But good morning. I was on my way over here. I literally just bursted out that door and quickly sat down. I changed my uniform and I put on this Hello Kitty shirt and I'm ready for some cute cafe.
I came with the Hello Kitty. So anyways, yeah, I don't know if you guys seen the thumbnail chat. I have no idea what the hell I'm in for. You know, because, as y'all know, I have a nighttime part-time job. Beans has a very early job. Kyle Roy with 5. It's coffee time. Have a great show, y'all. We appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you. And Doug Savannah, the amazing, loyal individual with the Canadian 2. Oh, it's coffee time. You damn right it's coffee time. So anyways, when all the stuff happened last night, I hit up Beans, and I said, how are we going to play this tomorrow? And we all know what I'm talking about. By the time I went to bed, she had already texted me at like 2:30 in the morning. And she says, the thumbnail says cute cafe, so that's what we're doing. And I was like, I meant the wing situation, but okay.
I did not know. You were just, wait. Let me see if I could pull up the DMs. You said specifically, you were like, oh, wait.
How are we
gonna play this tomorrow?
Yeah.
By that time, I was asleep. I was asleep from 6 to 12. Hi, baby. Bye. Have a good day at school.
Beautiful.
Bye. She's eating cheese puffs and she's like shoving them in her mouth while also like waving bye to me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you said, how are we going to play this tomorrow? And I was already asleep. I was asleep from 6 to 12 to catch up on some sleep, some much needed sleep.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, I don't nap in the morning or
you.
in the afternoon. I don't nap at all. The only way I can sleep is in the nighttime.
Yeah.
The only way I can nap is with Grim. So I went over to Grim's. I had a nap with him, 6 to 12. Felt refreshed after that. As soon as I woke up, I started texting everybody. I started texting you. I started texting the cafe about like new ideas, texting you about the thumbnail, which I mistakenly thought that's what you were talking about. But apparently I missed a lot. It's always whenever I'm not present, I miss a lot in the LCU.
Yeah. By the way, Glenn Harris, no, Beans does not have children.
No, That's my niece.
So
Not yet.
Let's put all that to bed. At this current moment, Beans has no children. But Sterling, girl, 6 hours ain't no nap.
It isn't a nap, but my body was like, you need sleep. You're going to sleep for 6 hours.
Bruh.
And Grim, he knocked out too. We were asleep for that whole 6 hours, just honk shoeing.
It's
We
beautiful.
were very eepy.
I was so beat down tired last night after work because it was raining all damn day. I had to do 3 different spots. I think total was 60 or 70 buildings. I was tired. That rain got to your boy last night. So either way, I got home, showered obviously, as we always should do after work, or really every day. And I laid down and I went to bed immediately. Like, I don't even think my damn sleeping pills or anything kicked in quite yet. I think my body was just tired. But got some beautiful sleep. Got a beautiful morning. Lady Nerd Artist, good morning. I'm glad you were able to nap, Beans, and happy to see you. Today's going to be a cute day for y'all because today I'm not going to be cute.
Ooh, what's that gonna mean?
I have no idea what that means. I don't know if y'all got some other things or whatever. I don't know, but she says she's not going to be
The
cute
thumbnail.
today. Yeah, so describe the thumbnail and what the motivation was behind the thumbnail to the audience, Beans, because I would love to know where this cute puppy dog eye fucking weird beard Ken came from.
So
I can't.
it's really hard. It's really hard to make a thumbnail when you don't know what you're going to talk about the next day, right? My whole thing is we need more super chats, right? And I'm like, what can we do for more super chats? What can we do for more super chats? We're not going to do like the whole punishment thing because we both don't deserve any punishment. What could we do that's like slightly uncomfortable for us, but still not like getting down and dirty, right? And I was making the thumbnail slightly uncomfortable.
I can't. Continue, Beans. Continue.
I was in the VC. I was in the VC with a couple of people, and I'm like, you know what? Let me make something cute. I saw like a whole bunch of people using AI to like make like these little pictures, and I was like, you know what? Let me make a cute Ken. I wanted to see that for some reason. I was like, let me make this cute little Ken. I made it, and I was like, you know what? I'm cooking. Not cooking with Ken, cooking against Ken, because I know he's going to hate this. I said that in the VC. I said, he's going to hate it. I was thinking, you can determine the price point, okay? Because this is uncomfortable mostly for you. I was thinking, I can't even say without laughing. I was thinking maybe for every dono we get determined on your price point, we would have to do something cute. For example, like a meow or a little ooh, you know, because it would be funny, you know, in the middle of like talking about Trump, a little deep meow from Ken would really satisfy the soul.
This is what I'm gonna say. For real quick, Northern Large thumbnail makes Ken look identical to Gnome Keem. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. This is what we'll do. Just for you, Beans, and just for the coffee cult. For every TTS, you tell me what cute thing you want me to do, and I'll do it. That's what I'm going to do for you.
Okay. Wait, I have to choose it,
No,
or the people doing the TTS have to choose it?
TTS choose it.
Okay.
What?
That's even worse, because I was being nice with you.
I'm
just like a meow.
Whatever. Like, obviously, this is probably going to get clipped to death, and that's okay. I don't care. But just let me know. I will put my pride and my ego to the side, and y'all let me know what y'all want me to do. Because this is for the coffee cult, and I love my coffee cult, and we will continue. Oh, God.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. Beans chill gaming stream? Like you playing the games you have suggested in the main chat yesterday. Maybe a Ken vs Beans cooking stream? And can I get a new woo?
So what exactly is the UWO? What is that?
So UWO is actually a
UWU,
sound.
whatever.
So Yeah, UWU. UWU is a sound. So it's supposed to look like a little face, a little like kitten face emoticon. But the way that people say it is uwu.
I can't. Ooh, woo. Is that good? Ooh, woo.
That was perfect. That's perfect. This is giving me the same feeling I got whenever Zily did the pew pew. I know you guys can't hear it.
You know what?
Pew 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 pew.
For the ooh woo, I'll give a boomer report. Because I have no idea what that means. All right. So let's try to do something productive in this cute day that we call the cafe. Lady Nerd Artist, clip it. Yes, please, go ahead. Clip it. I don't care. It's fine. All right. I lost my train of thought. This is too much cuteness for one person.
The Daily Espresso.
Daily Espresso, let's get it. All right, guys. Oh, man. Speaking of cute, let's get into these birds because they are freaking adorable. All right.
The famous Big Bear Eagles, Jackie, Shadow, Sunny, and Gizmo.
All right, let's share my screen with you, ma'am. Let's get it. So currently we have 27,940 people watching. I don't know if this is the light or if this is like a bare spot of the... Oh, God.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. In today's news, may I
I
please
think
get
it's
an
the
eye
light
to
just
start the
reflecting
news
off
right
of
meow?
the lens.
So Lady Nerd Artist said, in today's news, may I please get a NYA, or yeah, to start the news right with a meow. A right meow. So, God. So I do just do like a cat sound in the mic.
Yeah, so like a little yeah.
Meow.
Wait, it cut out. You can't scam the.
All right, sorry. Meow. Is that good?
We'll take it.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
do this. I don't know, guys in chat. I'm sorry. Like this is way out of my comfort zone. I'm trying my best. I promise. If y'all need another meow, you let me know. All right, we'll make it happen. All right, back to the birds. So you said you think it's light reflecting, not like a bare spot of fur.
Yeah, I think it's the light reflecting off of the lens, the glare and all of that.
Yeah.
So they look very cute and cozy right now.
Oh, here we go. This is a
Or
better one.
right meow, as Lady Nerd Artist has put it.
Right, meow. Oh, yeah, big yawn.
Oh.
Big yawn. That's beautiful.
Today's stream is just living up to the name because the big yawns are just making me get that
this
cute
is-
aggression I was talking about.
This is absolutely adorable. So, I'm glad. We think we need a little bit of cuteness, in the LCU right now. So I think this is actually a great idea, Beans.
Yes, I got the great ideas now. Maybe tomorrow I'll have like a manly day. I'll like try to find like my tank top and like have my hat on backwards.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. This is still Locale Cafe. So, oh man, they are getting huge. This is the first time I've actually seen them both stand up.
Their wings are getting huge.
Yeah, they are. That's beautiful. That is awesome. All right. Let's get back to this thing. Right
now
meow.
that the Eagles are looking like Eagles, we can get into the daily horoscope for today, which is the April 8th. Despite a pleasing personality, an Aries born on April 8th has steel at their core and never misses a chance to learn from their mistakes or miscalculations. They don't see themselves as catalysts for change, but will endeavor to right a wrong, if an opportunity presents itself.
I think this perfectly sums up the perfect Aries. You know what I mean? Because, they're very stern people. Like I said, they have steel to their core, right? So they're They try and be very stern, and they stand on what their values are and what their beliefs are. 100% will do that. And always, there's always learning lessons, like it says here, the mistakes and miscalculations. Always learning, always trying to be better. That's what being a human is about. But when it says they will endeavor to right a wrong if the opportunity presents itself, and catalyst for change. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, I'm half asleep still. You always want to make sure that if you wrong someone, you want to correct it, right? And even if that means going a little bit further than what you normally would, because you never want to have somebody feel negative towards you, especially if you're the catalyst for it, like it says. So it's a beautiful thing. I think this is the perfect horoscope we've seen so far, Beans.
So far, especially since yesterday, we were talking about how we don't believe in horoscopes, but this one so far, pretty on point.
Oh yeah. So we're I'm sorry. Never mind. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm half asleep. I slept hard last night. I apologize. Just, there's cuteness going everywhere. I'm sitting here trying to have a serious conversation with meows and ooh-woos and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those days already, Beans. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you so much, Kev.
Oh, yeah.
I do this because we love our cafe community and we'll do anything for them.
Of course.
So we are going to move on to this day in history, April 8th. So in 1975, Frank Robinson makes debut as first black manager in the MLB. I was going to say MBL. I'm a little dyslexic today.
Really quick, the coffee cup says nope, because that's the cuteness right now. Nope, you got it wrong. On April 8th, 1975, Frank Robinson became the first African American to manage a major league baseball game. You are giving me your sleepiness right now, even though I was awake since 4 a.m. when the Cleveland Indians faced the New York Yankees. So Robinson, who also batted second, homered in his first at bat during Indians' 5-3 win. Nearly 20. I'm not good. Maybe I need a ooh-woo to wake me up. I know, right?
Nearly 28 years later, Jackie Robinson, no relation, broke the color barrier as the first African American to play in the big leagues. So a lot of African American representation. So yeah.
You want to hear something funny?
It's pretty cool. What's funny?
So real quick, Billy Fridge is in the chat. Shout out, Billy. Thank you for coming in, sir. I always make a joke, right? A lot of people don't like this joke. I don't care. But it shits on golf. Because I hate golf with a passion. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. But this is what I say. I say, you know why? Or not why. Wrong word. Golf is the most racist sport. And do you know why?
Why?
They were the last professional sport to integrate non-whites to play professionally. The last ones. They held on till the very end. And they said, you know what? We can't. We have to do it. You can look it up. It's known. I didn't make it up. Golf is the most racist sport.
I am not surprised, actually. I think people will look at golf and just like get that feeling from it. Just like how, hopefully we get more African American representation in golf, because a lot of people, whenever they think of African American in golf, the only person they can think of.
What's his name?
That's why I paused for so long, because I thought you were going to fill in and I blanked out.
I can't remember his name.
Chat. I know you like golf, maybe. We got some old people in here. Boomer report?
Yeah, let's do one. Yeah, I can't think of his fucking name.
I know that he was
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. I was thinking like something Storm for some reason.
Yeah, my bad.
But Tiger Woods, not a very good person apparently, because he had some sort of like sexual addiction and he had like some problems with his.
He was fucking.
He was
100%.
fucking.
100%.
Real quick. There was one comment in the chat that I saw that made me want to laugh out loud. Somebody said it's a two Woos Day.
Two Woos Day.
I should have put that as the title, but neither here nor there.
Yep.
We're going to continue on with this day in history because we did get a complaint that sometimes we get off track. Let's get on track.
Real quick.
Yes.
Guys, if you're new coming in here, so evidently the theme of today is to make me do something cute. So if you donate a $20 TTS, you tell me to do something cute, I have to do it. And I'm not scamming my fans. So if y'all want to see me do something that you would call cute, by all means. I had no idea this was happening. I promise you. Like, it's a whole thing, but just let me know what cute thing you want me to do, and I'll do it. All right, continue.
It's gonna be adorable.
You're damn right it is.
In 1993, astronaut Ellen Ochoa becomes the first Hispanic woman in space. Hell yeah, we love Hispanic people doing Hispanic things, and we love African American people doing African American things.
Hell yeah.
So in April 8th, 1993, the Space Shuttle Discovery lifts off of the Kennedy Space Center. That's actually pretty close by. On board, its astronaut Ellen Ochoa, soon to become the first Hispanic woman in space. So I remember one time I talked about sometimes or this day in history have a theme. So it seems like we have minorities doing some pretty awesome shit, and I'm living for it.
Hell yeah. You always want equality, right? Now obviously times are a little bit different, but the fact that you have people that are of minority races are coming up and they're doing a lot of awesome things, throughout history, showing it doesn't matter what you look like, you can achieve if you put your heart and mind into it. It's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful.
Actually, Andrew, sometimes he can be nice, sometimes he can be a little spicy, but he said, fun fact, Tiger was on The Price is Right as a kid. I never knew that before.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Andrew, for Andrew Fact of the Day. Thank you.
So in 2013, Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first female prime minister, dies. So Margaret Thatcher, in the UK's first female prime minister, died on April 8th, 2013 at the age of 87 from a stroke. Damn. Serving from 1979 to 1990, she was the longest serving British prime minister of the 20th century. So Thatcher reduced the power of labor unions, privatized industry, won the Falklands War, and as a close ally of Ronald Reagan, helped the end of the Cold War. So a polarizing figure known as the Iron Lady, she even got a cool ass nickname.
Hell yeah.
That's how you know you made it in life. Supporters praised her free market policies, while critics argued they harmed the lower classes. So it seems like she was a very polarizing figure, but she earned a nickname, so she must have been badass.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I don't know a lot about Margaret Thatcher, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know a lot of people talk to her about certain things that she's done. Obviously, she has a lot of accolades under her belt. The problem with politics is no matter what you do, you're going to piss off someone and someone else is going to love you. There's no middle ground, and that's the shitty part about politics right now. There's no middle ground. But, shout out to her for doing her thing. Obviously, she was a trendsetter in the UK. So shout out to her and her family. It's beautiful.
Shout out to her. Sterling actually chimed into the chat saying that pretty sure they play Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead after she passed. That is stone cold. Apparently so.
Wow.
They truly did not like her over there. But something that you may like is Brewed for Your Brain, Useless Facts.
Hey.
One of my favorite categories. So the fear of long words is called hippopotomonstrososis cryptid pedodaliophilia. Phobia, sorry.
One second.
Lady Nerd Artist Super Chatted $20. In honor of Buff Weeb's victory in drama, may you please, in support of the Weeb, may we get the battle cry BBEOO, red heart emoji, you guys. As a fun fact, April 8th, Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's home run record. Keep up the cute, heart hands emoji.
Alright. In honor of Buff Weeb's victory in drama, may we please, in support of Weeb, get a battle cry of... What's that? Baby ooh woo.
I think they BBE ooh woo. So yesterday, if you didn't watch Nerds, they started talking about this weird meme that that Zay knew about whenever she was in like middle school, high school. And basically it's a meme of Land Before Time, and like the whole punchline is like one of the dinosaurs looks straight into the camera and just goes yee. And once Buff Weeb heard that, he absolutely hated it, and he's
Lily,
like, stop saying yee, you're brain dead or something. So the whole chat started saying yee, and yeah, now everybody's saying BBE just to piss him off. So I'm just gonna say BBE oh whoa, because you didn't say ooh woo, you said oh whoa.
So you did it. Do I need to do it or no? I'll do it. Fuck it. Baby yee ooh woo.
I think your voice is cracking from the visceral reaction
Baby
you're having
yee,
to the
ooh,
cuteness.
ooh. I don't fucking know. All right. So there is actually a translation, or not a translation, but you can actually hear them say it. So we're going to do that really quick for the audience. I think you can still see it.
Hippopotamonstrosesquipthaliophobia.
One more time.
Hippopotamonstrosesquipthaliophobia.
Hippopotamonostroso-squippity-skippity-aliophobia. I can't.
And you gotta end it with a oh whoa.
Oh, whoa. All right.
So we actually have Chill a Lot. Welcome to Cash Cow, even though you
Appreciate you,
can't
Chill.
hear it. Pew, 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 pew.
Appreciate you, Chill. Thank you. We need to, hey, when the stream's over, we need to do the soundboard shit so they can hear you. All right? We need to do that.
We do.
As soon as the stream is over, we're going to do that. Also,
because now the pew pews are embedded into Cafe. I love the pew pews.
straight up. So, also, if you guys don't know, for the members this week, I'm going to be redoing the King Cobra JFS mushy cheesy wings. I went out to the store and I bought everything that I could that was there, right? Some stuff wasn't there, so I had to come up with some shit. So when we're done with the stream today, I will be cooking that, and I will be doing like a members only thing. Should be uploaded this week for it. It'll be available to Band World and above. So if you are not a member, you want to see me recreate some King Cobra JFS food hack, make sure you become at least a Band World member. Thank you so much for that one. And I'll be doing a poll probably Thursday. I'll be announcing what I'm going to be doing for next week's members only video. I'm thinking I'm going to do a cooking with Jack reenactment. I think. The problem is Cooking with Jack has a lot of raw chicken. And he eats a lot of raw chicken. Yeah, it's disgusting. So I can also take suggestions, right? I believe also your package is going to get here, I think today or tomorrow, if I remembered right. So this way we can do our Pay Pig and Crown giveaways. And, maybe do some new member giveaways. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. Micah Hart, are we going to talk about wings? Yes, we are. After the Daily Espresso, we'll talk about wings. But we need to do what the beloved OG Coffee Club members love, what brought them here, and what keeps them here, the Daily Espresso. So, let's get back into it. Elliot said, ooh, you damn right it's ooh. It ain't good. It's not going to be good. But I'm doing it for the Coffee Cult members. Thank you. All right.
We are doing it for the Coffee Cult members. So other than the long word that's supposed to represent the people with the fear of long words, I already mess up on regular words. What makes you think I can say that word?
I know, right?
So, just to give you a little bit of background, the 36-letter word that we just mentioned was first used by Roman poet Horace in the 1st century BCE to criticize writers with a penchant for long words. Was later coined by American poet Amy with a that name is complicated. That's almost as long. Yeah, I can't. Possibly due to her own long surname.
Makes
See,
sense.
we just mentioned how long her surname is, and apparently that's exactly what.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh, man.
Imagine putting that on a name tag or something. Ridiculous.
The question is, did she marry and accept that name? Or was she born with that name?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I think if I ever met somebody, which is not going to happen because I'm going to marry Grimm and I'm going to have Grimm's last name for the rest of my life. But let's just say this is a different universe where I met somebody with a long last name like that. I'd probably just look them straight in the eye and say, hell nah, you're going to take my last name because I'm not taking that shit. You can keep that shit.
So, fun fact, when my grandmother came from Greece through Ellis Island, they actually changed her last name to be more Americanized. I guess that was a practice back then because her last name was Philippopoulos, but they changed it to Phillips. On her like citizenship paperwork, it's actually on the back signed, and it says, you know, the last name was changed. I've like for whatever reason it was, and it was signed. But yeah, I have her naturalization certificate and all that.
That's horrible. It feels like you're erasing like somebody's family or like heritage or, you know, lineage. But in high school, I actually had a guidance counselor who her last name was, what was it? It was very long and very weird. Actually, it wasn't that long. It was, something Geneopolis. Something Geneopolis. I just remember the last part because we just call her Geneopolis. That's all. But I love Greek names. They just sound so, you know.
All right.
I think that we mentioned this before, but chainsaws were first invented for childbirth. Developed in the late 18th century Scotland, the chainsaw was originally used to aid in widening the pubic cartilage and remove diseased bone during childbirth. What do you mean diseased bone? It wasn't wait, but it wasn't until, listen to this, it wasn't until the early 20th century that chainsaws were used for wood chopping.
So for 200 years, we were using ring-yang-yang-yang-yang to fucking cut a woman open. I can't.
I think they just wanted to drown out like the baby crying. You can't hear if you just hear I can't do it as well as you can.
Hey. Slicky the Gecko, small donor for Can Make Me Laugh this morning. Hey, Slicky, you're a beautiful individual. Thank you, Slicky. You're amazing. And also, Spook Monkey, I don't want to hear anything. You're a beautiful man, too. Oh, God, here we go.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. Sorry, someone was busy sneezing. Can we get an IOU woo for everyone in the back? Smiley face emoji.
So what is this?
So again, they said, sorry, someone was busy sneezing. I think they meant by the long word sounding like a sneeze, because I saw them say bless you earlier. Someone was busy sneezing. Can we get a nya ooh for everyone in the back? And I see Buff Weeb has just chimed in. Hello, Buff Weeb. Welcome in your masculinity, because today is the Cute Cafe, where for $20 you can make Ken say anything cute for the rest of the episode.
I don't know if I can physically do. I'm gonna try. All right, it may take me a couple of attempts. Yeah, ooh woo. Is that? Yeah, ooh,
We'll
woo.
take it.
I don't know. Yeah, ooh woo. I can't.
To be honest, I feel like you're doing a really good job, Ken, because whenever I first thought of this, I thought like people are going to make you meow, people are going to make you ooh woo, but you were going above and beyond. I thought we were going to get like a deep ooh woo or like a deep like Meow. But you are going above and beyond
Trying.
and trying to match my pitch.
I'm trying. Look, Chad, you have to understand, like, this is all new to me, right? This, maybe you could say this is practice for when, if I have a daughter, I got to do the cute shit with her. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm trying. I appreciate everyone working with me. And again, $20 super chat. I'll do some cute shit. I don't know. I can't.
So, to carry on with the show, starfish don't have bodies, along with other that's another $20 word.
Echinoderms.
Echinoderms. Yeah, I have failed my professor who did, I think it was like animal biology or something. I like germs and bacteria. I don't like animals and shit. I mean, I do like animals. I just didn't want to study them. But echinoderms, which are like kind of like sea urchins and sand dollars, their entire bodies are technically classified as heads.
It's weird. Super
So
weird.
if you ever watch SpongeBob and you see Patrick, he's technically like a giant head.
I couldn't get into SpongeBob.
No?
It's weird. No, don't get me wrong. I love my Ren and Stimpy. I love me some Ren and Stimpy. But I can't with SpongeBob. Weird.
Ren and Stimpy were just so dirty, and I didn't even realize how dirty it was until I had to rewatch it. And I'm like, oh gosh, my mom allowed me to watch this?
Well, they had, so for a bit, MTV had Ren and Stimpy like after dark, and it would show like all the like adult things that Ren and Stimpy would do, and sometimes on Adult Swim, they would also do that. But yeah, it's weird, super weird.
My light turned off for some reason. Even my light can't handle all this cuteness.
Oh God.
So let's move on to I Can't with Ken and Beans. I'm pretty sure your I Can't for today is this whole episode.
Nah,
but
not
other
at all.
than that,
Not at all. If the coffee cult is being entertained with me doing some cute shit, obviously I'm here for it. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Is it Lily Nerd Artist or Lady Nerd Artist? You've been amazing for the support today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, people, when you're in the bathroom stall and you're trying to take a shit, or women doing whatever they need to do, and there's someone on the phone talking, breaks your concentration. You can't focus on the task at hand. You can't. You know what I mean? It's not cool. I know one time I basically told somebody to shut the fuck up. I was like, yo, bro, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to shit. And then it just went silent.
you said that to somebody while you were pooping?
Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck.
That just reminded me, if you guys have a membership, you can check out our members only video from Fat Camp behind the scenes. It's a very jump cutty sort of video because one, I'm not an editing
Savant.
professional. That too, that's a good word.
Savant.
I'm not a editing professional, and I didn't want to take too much time on it. So it's just a bunch of clips from, the behind the scenes put together. One of the videos, I think it's like near the beginning middle, is Grimm talking about his experience in Louisiana where he went to a gas station bathroom and there was a guy in there just like grunting, yelling for some reason. So I'm pretty sure you would hate that.
Sorry. My screen messed up. I would, but at the same time, I get it, right? We've all been there. We've all had those where sometimes you feel like you're going to have a vein pop in your head, right? We've had those. But I totally get it. The best, though.
A vein pop in your head.
Oh, yeah. The best, though, is when they're like screaming, like they're like in pain, and it's just a loud ass fart. It's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful, bro.
You know that it's bad whenever you start sweating. That's the bad ones. When you start sweating and you have a belt on and you're trying to make it home and you have to, I had those experiences once in a while, but girls don't poop. Girls don't poop.
I'm telling you this, though. There's like a shit GPS in everyone's brain. Where if you really need to take a shit and you're trying to get home, it gets worse and worse and worse the closer you get home. And it's like whenever you park, right, the turtle head starts coming out. And it's just all fucked up. Doug Savannah with the Canadian 2. Grim looked depressed when he tried that drink.
So I think that was right after we fell asleep at a Buc-ee's parking lot. We fell asleep at the Buc-ee's parking lot at like 4 a.m. And then we had to start driving quickly because we wanted to get there on time. We were driving at 9. He was really tired. He was kind of depressed because, you know, driving all that way is not an easy task. And I bought him a little Starbucks drink. He doesn't drink caffeine very often. But I got him a little chai drink. It was the cherry chai or something. Somebody recommended it to us in the Discord, so I wanted to try it, and I had a gift card. He doesn't like cinnamon. I don't know why he said it tasted like cinnamon, but apparently it does to him. He does not like cinnamon flavored things. So I think that added on to the depression just a little bit, but he did drink it all. I'm proud of him.
That's fair. Seth looks with the $4.99. A huge pet peeve of mine is someone talking to me in the public bathroom. It can wait until we get outside. It dongs out, mouths closed.
Dongs out, mouth closed. That's an interesting way to put it. I remember I never used to want to talk or do anything in the bathroom.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Hispanics don't have a sense of privacy or personal space. Sometimes my mom would try to pee while I'm trying to brush my teeth, and that pisses me off. I don't like anything going on while I'm brushing my teeth, especially if you have a degree in biology. They tell you time and time again, bacteria is everywhere, especially if you lower the toilet and you have the seat up, bacteria is just going to spray everywhere. I don't want bacteria in the air while I'm brushing my teeth. It's already disgusting. It's already on my toothbrush. I don't want extra bacteria. I hate it. That's my eye kink.
Life's about bacteria, Beans. Yeah, I remember that. So real quick, the Renewable Noob said, Jesus, Ken, this is cafe, not madhouse. You're right. One more. I want to hear Maddie Matt. I want to hear Ken say, can he fix it? No, I can't. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Can he fix it? No, I can't. Oh, man. I'll say this, though.
You are going to have so many good catchphrases.
Probably. I don't know. Like, once, for dudes, I mean, and you're, like, going through, like, basic training and all that, like, the whole idea of bathroom privacy isn't even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't, you do what you got to do, right? It's a human bodily function. We all do it. There's no reason to, like, be weirded out or whatever. Obviously, do you want privacy? Yes, you want privacy. But, like, I'll give y'all an example. Probably a little bit of TMI, but I don't give a fuck. I think this is funny. So, whenever we had to do, like, the urinalysis, right? Or whatever. Since I was an NCO, I had to be an observer. And part of being an observer is you have to see the stream of urine leave and go directly into the bottle. You have to see it. So, some people took that shit way too seriously. I didn't, right? But there was this one time where this dude was like doing a little bit extra. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? He was like, if I'm going to piss, I need to take a shit. I was like, all right. Well, I was like, I'm going to watch you shit then. Right. And I knew this dude pretty well. So we sat down. I'm just staring him in the eye. I'm like, are you going to shit? Or are you going to waste my fucking time? And he's like, I'm trying. You're staring at me. I'm like, bro, just piss. So he forced himself to pee while he's trying to take a shit. I'm like, all right, good. Now close the bottle, slide it to the front, right? He slid it to the front of the door where I could see it. And then I shut the door. I was like, all right, now you can shit in peace. He was so pissed off at me. Oh, he was pissed off at me. It was beautiful, though.
Wait, do you? I know a lot of people are like, this is Madhouse like level content right now. I don't think so because Madhouse gets pretty crazy. If you didn't watch Test yesterday,
this ain't Madhouse. This is not Madhouse.
this ain't Mad. This is tame compared to Madhouse. But do you pee and then shit, or is it like you can do it at the same time?
It depends on how bad I need to shit. We're derailing. Let's move on.
We are derailing.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, that was just way too good of a conversation. All right, quote of the day. Quote of the day. Everything in life is somewhere else, and you get there in a car. E.B. White, American author, best known for Charlotte's Web. I have no idea what that means. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, if you need to go somewhere, yeah, you get in your car and go, but I don't think it's like philosophical or like, I don't know. What do you think, B?
Everything in life is somewhere else and you get there in a car. I feel like this is one of those quotes that people are like, oh shit, that's deep and I'm 13. Like that type of crap.
Yeah.
Realize. Like that type of shit. It's like you're basically saying nothing and then you bring something out of it. Anyways, interesting none the least. Thank you so much for Charlotte's Web. I truly enjoyed that book when I was little. Don't enjoy this quote though.
What I hate is when people try to be like philosophical with like some words that they're trying to do to like blow your mind and it ends up just falling flat. I hate that shit. Like, bro, just shut the fuck up and go over there. Go over there with this shit. I don't want to hear it. I can't. All right.
I can't.
I definitely can't. All right, wholesome clip of the day, then we'll get into the stuff no one wants to talk about. Because I think we need some wholesome. We need some wholesome right now. It's only 11 seconds. It's beautiful.
That's so cute.
That is cute, actually. All right.
So I think it's an island where there's like a bunch of deer that you can go and like give them snacks and they'll bow to you. I think that's where they're at. And it's in Japan and it's super cool. One day I'd like to go. But let's get into this drama because I missed all of it yesterday.
Yes, you did. All right. Let's, you didn't watch Rewind either, did you?
I didn't watch jack shit. But then Rewind came to me in RVC and I asked them what was going on and all I got was that Zily was not very happy. So I can't wait to see what's going on.
All right. So Rewind got a little weird because of the topic and the feelings behind the topic. We'll get into that. But it was I was listening while I was working. It was a hard listen. But let's get into it. So if y'all haven't lived under a rock, y'all know what happened with Wings. And the funny part is like my name along with that has got dragged through the mud because all these people said I should have done more, blah, 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 whatever. But we've already talked about that. I don't need to keep talking about it. But Wings went on Locale Live, and part of the deal was they just wanted to have one of those I'm in my fee-fees conversations. Now, y'all know my take on men sharing their feelings like this. But I think the difference is here. It's still kind of fresh, one. And then two, I can't talk. Wings is the direct third host of Locale Life, so this kind of need to happen on the platform because it all happened on the platform. So I get it. I definitely get it. I'm glad no one cried because that would have been cringe. But let's get this started. So
yeah, I
as we know, Wings has put out many statements Wings has discussed things that happened, what he recalls, what he doesn't recall. But apparently, he took full accountability yet again with this. So let's give this a nice little gander.
Yeah, like again, I'm taking full accountability. I put somebody I love in a situation they never should have been in. Like we have disagreements on what it was, but I never should have got to that point. Like honestly, like what I should have done is when I fucked up with the Becky shit, I should have just apologized. And I see this in hindsight in 2020, but like I was so anxious, and like even like today, like up to the 0 hour, Boogie and Keem were on the phone with me trying to get me to come on. Because like I didn't feel like I'm in the right headspace to go
Cletus
over this
Coltrane
just yet.
super chatted $19.99.
I'm not going to let that play out. All right. So evidently, as you saw, he was on there. He said he takes full accountability for what happened. Blah, blah, whatever, right? We've heard the song and dance many times. So Boogie has been critical of Wings damn near this entire time. He said, I thought you were my friend. I was just trying to help you. I reached out to you a lot when I was going through stuff. You never reached out to me. This is Boogie talking to Wings. Wings never reached out to Boogie. So we all know Boogie kind of has this ability or, unconscious mythology of making everything about himself. Right. So yet again, I think Boogie kind of made this about himself last night, but he apologized to Wings for what he did or didn't do, right? Let's hear this real quick. Nothing too crazy, in case there's anything.
I do have one. No, I do have one thing to add, if that's okay, on the topic, and then you can tear into me about Friday's stream. And I just want to say personally, Jordy, I have gotten very heated here. I've said things and done things that I truly regret. I've tried to be your friend as best I can, and I understand why you wouldn't want that right now, especially with some of the things I've said and done. And I just wanted to apologize to you. I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better part of me. And sorry I was such a cock. But I do want to remind you, this entire time, I've been a fan of trying to get you back. And I've worked towards that, but I am sorry.
I want to air this out because it's something that needs to be aired out. Like,
I feel that's a little disingenuous, Boogie. Because I feel like you have said before you didn't know if there was going to be a path back for Wings. You've said that, you're basically done dealing with him because I guess he never reached out to you or y'all never really talked about certain things, even though you've done a lot for him. You feel he hadn't reciprocated for you. So whether I'm right or wrong on that, that's just kind of what my memory is. Obviously I'm not perfect. I could make a mistake in what I just said, but that's kind of my memory of it. Do you have any comments before we move on, Miss Beans?
My comments are that there are a lot of strong feelings about what's happening here. There is one thing that I read that I wanted to get to. It was a really long comment, and a lot of people are writing paragraphs, so I'm going to try to find it. I'm pretty sure it was from Seth Looks, basically saying, like, we're not stupid, like, we always knew that he was going to come back. Oh, here it is. Zily was right, we aren't stupid. Knock off the big song and dance and just say Wings is back. He was always going to come back. So, something that a lot of people don't realize is that whenever we were at Fat Camp, he was more open to talk about things that were going on because we were all there together in person. But when it comes to being kind of off, everybody in their own homes and stuff like that, he does not communicate at all. We don't, like, each of the shows, they kind of keep to themselves. They know what they're doing,
Yep.
but like we don't know what the other people are doing. Everybody just is in their little corner of the LCU. And Keem, even though this is big news that might affect the entire LCU as a whole, he doesn't really talk about it. The only thing that he truly talked about with us was the whole Becky thing. Like the night before she was going to come in, he was like, Becky might be here. Just hold your breath. And we were like, okay, noted. Everything else from there on, we don't know jack shit.
Yep.
And I don't think we're important enough to know, because these are big decisions that are supposed to be made within the big three, which is Keem, Boogie, Wings. I felt really bad for Zily, because I know that she has a lot of big feelings in this. She has a lot of personal antidotes that really affect not only how she views it, but also how this is going to look on her. And I just hope that things will work out the way that it's supposed to. Like I said, I don't believe in a lot of religious stuff, but I believe in the universe, and I feel like the universe always works itself out for a reason. And whatever comes, we can just accept it, or the people who are going to leave are going to leave. We'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah, great point. All right, so throughout the conversation that they're having, right, they had this kumbaya moment, whatever, or a little bit of a kumbaya moment. So Keem eventually asked, Wings, this is, I guess, the first time publicly they're talking about this. What was going on in Wings' mind? Because if you see Wings throughout the entire clip of what happened, there's this rage. And there's like this glaring look this entire time. But then when he got to Billy, he went blank. He just went blank. So, people are wondering what's going on in Wings' head. So that's what we're going to watch real quick.
Did this, but I'm
And we'll see what the big man has to say.
did this, but I'm sure you'll remember this because John was standing right behind you. And John goes, "What are you going to do hitting people for?" I'm like, I don't want to try to hit anybody. You remember me saying that, Boogie?
Yeah, I think so.
What was going on in your mind when we were in the pushing match? I'm curious, because for me, it was like, are we really, we're about to fight? Like, what is, like, I was confused.
What ended up happening was I was really, really livid. And then like you got mad at me for yelling. And the first thought I actually had was like, why is he getting mad at me for yelling? Boogie yells at him all the fucking time. And then like you stood up and my belly like bumped you, and you put your arm out to like get distance from me. Well, in my head instantly I registered it as a push.
The first thing I remember is you pushing me, and then I was like, oh shit, we is this for real? We're about to fight? So then I wanted to have distance, so I put my hand on your throat, right?
Did this, but I'm sure you'll remember.
All right. So he's kind of said that before. That's really nothing new there. And how like his mind was working and how it kind of registered or whatever. So a lot of people keep bringing... Go ahead.
Oh,
go
all I'm going to say is being the bean behind the camera. I remember that a lot differently. He's saying that the starting point was Keem standing up, right? It's like, I was yelling at you and then you stood up, and I took that as like a sign of aggression towards me. And then Keem is saying, well, you started yelling at me and you bumped me, so I took that as aggression. I felt aggression the moment that he stepped off of the scale. I don't know if he did weigh himself or not, but I remember him being near the scale with Boogie. He starts kind of raising his voice. Keem starts raising his voice, and Jordy went from point A to point B fairly quickly. He started stomping his way over there. That was, to me, the first sign of aggression. Once you start moving over, you start yelling at somebody and you start moving over to their direction, and you're getting fairly close to him, that's what I took as aggression. That was number one step. Then Keem stood up, and then they both got closer to each other. And then that's when they started swinging, or if you want to call that swinging. But the way that they're describing it is just doesn't add up to me.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? When you're trying to explain something when your mind's in a fog, it's hard to, because you forget little details. But then when you go back and watch the footage, you can see what you're doing, but sometimes it's hard to explain what you're doing because you can't rationalize it, right? All right. So back to this. A lot of people brought up Becky and Roxy because they got into a fight. Right. They're saying why was it unfair that they got to stay? Now, we can skip that clip a little bit because it's pretty obvious. Roxy wasn't the physical aggressor. Becky was. Becky's the one that laid hands first. And that's why she had to go. And Keem has said numerous times, men can split up two women fighting, right? Very easily. But if it's two grown-ass men fighting, it's going to be very hard to really separate them just because of everything that's involved. Especially when it's a 400-pound man involved, right? So, as they're discussing it, Boogie kind of explains why he wanted to help Wings out. A lot of that is because Boogie wanted to repay Wings because Wings said the only reason why he's doing it is to help Boogie save his house. Right? Wings has said that numerous times. He's also said the only reason why he's even doing Lockout Live was for Kelly because it made her feel a little financially more secure. So, as they're talking about a potential path back. This is where they're starting to lose a lot of people because of the path back. Granted, there's a lot of comparisons that I'll get into explaining what people are trying to compare this to. But right now, a lot of people either don't care or they don't want him back. There's already been people saying that they're canceling memberships. Obviously, they do what they feel they need to do. They support who they want to support. But it is what it is. So let's get into the Wings Path Back clip. So that way we can check that out.
On to see how this...
Where my mouse at? There it is. Sorry, guys.
On to see how this goes, right? And we want to see if we can figure out some path back. Like, I don't know, when Boogie faked cancer, it felt like this whole thing was falling apart, right? But we found our way back, right? Wings in this situation, I feel like somehow, some way we can find our way back. If I fuck up, I hope we can find our way back,
I mean, if anybody deserves the second chances I've been given, Jordy definitely deserves his second chance.
I want to address this. Willie for not worth his Wings is like the new Wings, like the same Wings never changes. Like, here's the thing though, right? Like, going into this, like, I have to continue to be the person that people liked on the show. I have to like make fun of people, gotta like be somewhat aggressive. Like, how do I be completely calm on a show designed around yelling and drama? Right? Like, it kind of defeats the purpose if I just sit here and be Boogie or like even
on to see.
All right. So the last clip we're going to show before we move into Rewind, Billy joined kind of towards the end, and he talked about Zily, because evidently Wings reached out to Zily to talk to her because he said he considers Zily a friend. So we're going to let this clip play out, and then we'll talk about your thoughts on all this before we move into Rewind. So let's get this going.
that's his privacy.
You can still see it, right?
Yeah.
That's his privacy. She completely ignored me.
I assume you mean Zily gets real?
Yes.
I think she has very high opinions of what happened that are very high from even before what
Look
happened.
at Keem's face.
I think she I think her opinions of this are from years before what you did even
Oh,
happen.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Zily and Tina will probably never, ever forgive you.
Yeah, I don't even know it's about forgiving you. They're carrying weight from a long time ago. The work you have to do is for you, and what they have to do, I don't think that's
Right. I just feel like they
whole
don't.
separate road.
I just feel like Zily's not even giving me a chance to defend myself for it.
Real quick.
All right. So that basically sums that up. Zily at one point was saying she didn't know if she was going to do Rewind last night just because of the mental state that she was in because of triggers from her past. So, watching all of that, Beans, this is your first time watching it all. Before we go into Rewind, what are your thoughts on... Oh, by the way, they did some bullshit where, like, I guess Kelly pushed Wings through a table, and then she, like, jumped on the couch and did, like, some elbow drop on top of him. Right? Whatever. A lot of people also had opinions about that. But what you got, Beans? Talk to me.
So I was just going to mention that because, like I stated before, I fell asleep from 6 to 12, so I missed basically everything last night. And people were putting in the chat, them recreating what happened or making fun of the situation was not okay. I think I'm pretty close with a lot of people from the Discord. I always look at the Discord. I try to be as invested as possible, especially if people are supporting Cafe. And I've gotten a lot of opinions from people. There has been a lot of people that came up to me saying like, hey, I'll miss talking to you, but I'm going to cancel all my memberships. And I'm like, why? Like, you know, that's your decision. I completely respect it, but just why? Because I'd like to know. And thankfully, they felt comfortable enough to tell me that, one, they don't feel like they can support Wings if he does come back, because they feel like he hasn't really done the work. Doing a 8-hour anger management class in 5 hours, because he didn't even do it like in the full 8 hours. He like cut it down to 5. Apparently, that's what I'm reading from the chat. But doing a course that's only 8 hours that you did in 5 is not going to fix anything. You're not really doing the work. And it's some people are saying that he has been kind of dismissing what he's done, like making excuses for it. And then himself, or not even him, like him and Kelly, kind of making fun of the whole situation, like pushing him into a table and all that other stuff, like thinking that's okay to do so soon. It rubbed people the wrong way. So a lot of people are saying it would have been okay if somebody else maybe made fun of the fact, but the fact that they're doing it, not okay. A lot of people are saying that they themselves are people who have been in situations like that. There are some people that are saying people can change, but they don't believe that Jordy has changed in such a short amount of time. Other people are chiming in saying that if they just waited the full 90 days, maybe this would have been more palatable to others. But the fact that it's been so soon, of course, people are not going to accept it. So we know he hasn't changed because it's a short amount of time. A lot of people are canceling memberships because they're basically voting with their wallet, right? Nobody's going to pay attention unless you truly use your money, because that's what's important here. A lot of people are saying I'm going to cancel LCL, but I'm not going to cancel the smaller shows, because they want to support more of the smaller shows than, you know, Keemstar directly. But then there's other people saying they're going to cancel everything because Keemstar does get a cut. So it's not only endangering LolCal Live, it's endangering the whole LolCal universe. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on LolCal Live for the next couple of days to see what's going to happen, because this could be make or break for a lot of shows, if that means a lot of people are going to stop supporting.
Yep. And there's a part 2 tonight, evidently.
A part 2?
They'll have Wings on again. Yep. So
interesting.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and get into Rewind before we kind of sum all this up. And obviously I'm sure we'll have some time if any of the fan members want to hop into members waiting, y'all want to give your opinions. Obviously we'll bring you up. You can talk about it. You know, I know Keem was like rapid firing people last night because they had like 5 minutes left, but if y'all want to give your opinions, you're obviously welcome. All right, so Zily has a past with this. So a lot of the stuff that happened to her was triggered based on this and then them making light of the situation. Some people don't say they were making light of the situation. They were making fun of the situation. It's up to you to decipher how you feel about it. So Zily made a plea to Keem. Maybe plea is the wrong word. She made a statement to Keem regarding all of this. We'll get into this one, and we'll check it out. Let me share my screen again. Sorry, chat. The boomer's trying to click too much.
Zily will let it out for 5 red donos. Let's.
I'm not even going to let it out then because it doesn't matter. Just be upfront.
I just want to say the dead air on this episode in the beginning was serious. A lot of dead air.
And honest. Just be upfront and honest and say he's back. Just say he's back. Don't bullshit me. Just say he's back. And then let me deal with what I got to do.
I'm going to bring in Silver Moon 2K. See.
All right. So I have no idea what this means, but we'll get into it. So what were we going to say before?
The only difference is it's not personal.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was trying to pause the clip. What's up? What were you saying?
You saying that there was a lot of dead air in the beginning is deafening for me because Billy can yap.
Supreme Leader Bread super chatted $19.99. The fact Wingo put out an apologies, then backtracked everything. Then proceeded to go on Lolco Live to talk about how you were broke in 2015.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to do it so you can hear these also. But yeah, basically he's saying that, he put out an apology, then he backtracked, and then he went on Local Live. It's about how in 2015 he had $400 in his account, and that's why he started streaming. A lot of people were thinking, or not thinking, wrong word. A lot of people were saying that when Wings put out the statement on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, when he went on Local Live, it just erased everything that he said on X because it wasn't the same thing. It was almost a complete and utter opposite. So I think that's what they are referring to. So it is what it is. That's something Wings and Kelly are going to have to deal with if that's the case. But
that is something that they're going to have to deal with. Real quick.
Go ahead.
So again, there was something else that somebody mentioned in the chat. I'm not going to say their name because I don't know if they want to, their face plastered on this opinion or not. But somebody said in the chat, even if Wings faked getting better throughout those 90 days, it would have been a softer blow than just incorporating him back into the LCL so quickly. Because at least in 90 days, people can either make peace with what happened, forget about what happened, still have a lot of anger towards Wings, but at least have some sort of idea that he's trying to get better, something of the sort, fake it to make it.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Whenever Zily says, just tell me and I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with, I think I know what she's talking about. I don't want to speak for her, but this is just my assumption that this is going to be the same thing as whenever the whole Mike situation was going down. So whenever people were going back and forth on if Mike should stay or not because of his drama, Zily was getting a tremendous amount of hate because, as you know, Zily is a commentary channel who usually go against people like this, people that do wrong on the internet. So the fact that there's one way that I can put this where I don't want to put it this way. This is just how people see it. People from the outside that absolutely hate Zily and are just going to put things in the worst way possible. People are going to say that she's lying in bed with the enemy. I don't think so. Zelly's doing her own thing. She's separate, for example, I don't like Mike. I don't like what Mike did. I try to minimize as much interaction with Mike as I possibly can. But I'm also not going to hate him as a person because of, everything he did was so long ago. He got married to the person. Now it's not so black and white as people think. But I'm still going to, maybe don't talk to me so much or don't get too close to me, that sort of thing. I'm very cordial with people. I think Zyly's very cordial with people. She's still going to remain professional, but she's not going to leave Billy out to dry. And she's still going to be the same Zyly gets real as she always has. Things are just more complicated. I hate the hate that might go Zyly's way, and I hate the emotional struggle that she's gonna have to deal with. I hope things get better. I hope that if we do take on Wings, that he does do some work. I wish that we would have just waited the 90 days. This would have been so much better. But at the same time, we don't know. There's a part 2. Let's keep an eye on Locale Live.
Yep. All right. So when this says Zily doesn't like that Keem was just kidding about assault on Locale Live, right? So this dude that they're talking to, if this is the guy I think it is, he was basically saying, if you swapped Kelly for Brantley, would Keem have the same energy? Would Keem be thinking about it the exact same way he is now if you swap Brantley and Kelly? Which is actually a very valid point, if you think about it. Because I know if you swap Kelly with my wife and that happened, I'd be in jail right now. Right? Not saying that I would do the pushing. But if a man did that to my wife, I would be in jail right now. That's all I'm saying. But let's get into this one. This is actually, if you haven't heard this, this is actually very interesting. That's the best word I can think about it.
The only difference is it's not personal to Keem, so Keem doesn't care, and you can make a big joke about it and have a WWE style go through a table match or whatever the heck he had on live. That none of that would have happened if it was Brantley.
I have to admit, I think that whole thing with Wings and Kelly through the table or whatever is not comparable to what actually happened. I think it was making light of the situation, and I didn't
Made a joke
appreciate
of it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it. It pissed me
And
off. I
bad
have to
taste
admit.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it was
Yeah, so that's kind of the point that they were trying to make. So let me get back to here. There's another dude who called in that basically said that Keem was not being genuine, and basically this was another episode of Dead Air here. So I'm not sure which one this is because I was in and out of rewind, but let's just check this one out, and then we'll figure it out.
The stuff he said before.
Oh, it's the same guy. This guy brings up a lot of good points, Beans. A lot of good points.
The stuff he said before this, and then he just shit on it all today. Pardon my French.
Yeah, I got this. So basically what he was saying is everything that, in his opinion, what Keem said as far as being against domestic violence, being against spousal abuse, and all of that basically went out the window because it made a mockery of what happened on the show with the gimmick at the end. That's the point he's trying to make. That's where we're at. So let's continue.
the LCU has always been in bad taste. But
then don't say that. Then Billy, then don't say that one stuff. If you're gonna make a joke out of it, make it a joke the whole time. Then don't change it just because now it's gonna make you money. Now all of a sudden it's funny. Now when he was acting like he was for women and he was for against domestic violence and all that stuff, all the great stuff he said before, it all got shit on today. So it was all just a joke.
What do you say? What do you say to that?
So nothing he says is genuine.
You see what I'm saying?
I can't hate on him for saying that.
There it is.
Supreme Leader Bread super chatted $20. I'll be honest, I'm addicted to Lolco.
That hurt my
If
heart.
I don't
My
have
heart
it, I
literally
start
hurts right
picking my
now, like
face
in
and
my
get
chest,
cold
whenever
sores
I
every
heard
night, please
Zily.
Hold on. Sorry, TTS. I need to figure. I'm sorry. Kind of like Zay does the thing for TTS. I need to figure something out because I don't want to interrupt you. But yeah. Anyway, Supreme Leader Bread said, "I'll be honest. I'm addicted to Lolcow. If I don't have it, I start picking my face and get cold sores everywhere. Please help." Well, hopefully cafe ain't going nowhere, so you can always get some cafe in your life. But
Get started with the day. Yeah.
exactly. But I have some thoughts I'll share once we get past all this. Again, this is definitely interesting in a different area of what's going on. Justin Masters, love you, Justin, for the 5. I hate that Zily is showing this animosity to Wings. They had good chemistry when Wings subbed for Billy on Rewind, but I get it. All right, one more.
4D3 super chatted $20. Judging someone entirely based on a blacked out angry 10 seconds is wild. Shouldn't Kelly's word hold some weight? The outraged minority is the loudest. Seems like a lot of burl clutching, virtue signaling going on to me.
I get it. I get what you're saying. Upgrade. I 100% do. The only thing that kind of goes against your opinion, and again, I could be wrong for this, and I'm going to be straight up honest. I could be wrong for this. But a lot of times when you see abusive relationships, the person being abused will always say, nothing is happening and I'm fine. So when Kelly says that, you know, it's up to the person to believe her or not. It's just kind of how it is. Do I think Wings is abusing Kelly and punching the shit out of her and pushing her through walls and all that shit? No, I don't. I do not believe that. The issue is when you have the optics that you do and you're on a major platform like YouTube and you have the history you do, talking about Wings, when you have that history, you have to walk on eggshells with everything you do in the public eye. You just do. So we're not talking about just your normal everyday person. We're talking about Wings of Redemption who gets trolled like a motherfucker constantly and all the damn time. Bridges. Oh, man, I love you, Bridges. Thank you so much for the 5 British pounds. Kenned's a W, Big Ups Cafe. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Bridges.
Lady Nerd Artist super chatted $20. Everyone has baggage from a tiny wallet to an ocean, not up to us to judge how others deal with should talk and speak with energy should be kept for all hosts from Becky's side to this. Right meow, PLS.
Meow. Thank you, Lady Nerd Artist. I appreciate you. Yeah, so, again, you know, not trying to get religious on everybody, but, you know, it's up to us to forgive people, and only God can judge, right? So if you're religious or not, that's the values I was brought up with. That's what my family put in me, so that's the values I can turn to, right? I'm just going to put that out there. Oh, hold on. Twisted Puppet, no, Kelly's word does not hold weight because victims of DV will often not realize what's going on and will dismiss it as their own fault. Also, not all DV is physical. Agreed. 100% a good point. The other thing
I think it's worse.
I'm going to say one more thing real quick, and then I want you to go off. Go off, Queen. Meow. The problem that hurt Wings the most is when he said, it's not domestic violence or abuse when I did not leave a mark. That is not a good look, bro. I'm sure he regrets saying that, but it's just the truth. You shouldn't have said that. Beans, go off, Queen.
Ooh.
Hold on, don't go off
Wait,
yet.
There's a...
Upgrade 4D3 super chatted $20. He pushed her down in a blacked out rage. Yes, it was wrong. People are acting like he had her cowered in a corner yelling at her and threatening violence on her. It was a very bad moment. It's not genuine to legit DV victims.
So that's the thing, right? I get what you're saying again, and I agree with you. It wasn't like that. And even Keemstar said it like in the video that Twiggy leaked or whatever. It's not like he punched her and gave her a black eye, right? We're not talking about that level. But all people can do is use their past and what they went through to judge another person's actions. All they can do is look in themselves with their own experiences and say, is this right or wrong, right? And as the saying goes, opinions are like assholes. We all have one, you know? And I've also said it, a million what ifs don't make one absolute. We don't need to what if this thing to death because it's not going to do anything. Charity, your whole name's not coming through. I am so sorry. Give me 1 second.
Chenoweth?
There we go. Charity Chenoweth. Thank you so much. And of course, can you read that one real quick? My computer said, fuck you.
Yeah, no problem. So, Charity Chenoweth with the 10, Canadian 10, said, I have been in a very bad DV situation. And the PTSD I had watching Kelly being pushed, I cried. My heart goes out to Tina and Zily. Love them both. So this person has been in situations like that. Just seeing this on screen also had them, have a reaction to it. I think a lot of people are also forgetting it's not just their relationship and what goes on between them. It's also how it looks optically. It was caught on camera by me. It was caught on camera, the push. Now, it's not just what's going on in the relationship. It's a lol cow who just pushed his wife. This is going to get clipped to hell and talked about to hell. It's more than that. It's also how the audience is going to react to it. It doesn't even matter what goes on in your relationship anymore, because how does it affect the audience? How does it affect the people bringing in the money, right? That's the big picture. Now, the smaller picture of their relationship, it doesn't help that this is a lol cow with clips and clips and clips of him talking very wrongly to his own wife, talking about how she's, whenever he rated her on a scale of 1 to 10, he's like, he rated her very low, and then it switched to a 5 just recently. And even then, he rated Becky ahead of his own wife. And then, there were multiple times where he called her like fat, multiple times where he says that like he's only in the relationship because he's like comfortable or something.
And health insurance.
Health insurance, exactly. All these things add up. It's not just this one moment that people are taking in, it's everything put together. Especially when that clip came out of him slapping. It's true that once you slap skin on skin, it sounds way worse than it maybe feels. But it's still bad. There's so many ways that you could have gone about it that would have been much better. Just, hey, stop. Instead of grabbing somebody what looks like so violently.
Yeah.
Somebody actually donated Carl Lyons, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, with the 5. By bringing him back on, Keem has made a statement that domestic violence is okay, which isn't. The moment Wings put hands on Kelly, he was no longer a man. So it might have been a blackout moment, but that doesn't matter because you put it on air, right?
Yep.
That's already out there. It's going to look like DV even if it isn't, okay? No matter what my opinion is, it looks like DV. It looks like you're promoting it if you bring him on so quickly without him actually learning his lesson.
Hey, Tina.
That clip of him. Oh, Tina's in here? What's up, Tina? Tina, if you do want to hop on, because you and Zily have a lot to say when it comes to this. Even I've been, this is a little peek behind the curtain. I've been hit by a grown man before. It's not fun. It was in the family. I've learned to accept it. Try not to cry. I learned to accept it and move past and try to forgive this person, because it would have been much harder to live if I just hold that in, but this is much, much different. Tina unfortunately said she's very sick. Sorry she lost her voice. Hopefully you get better, Tina. We do give out a lot of love, especially in this situation. A lot of people are just putting in the chat over and over again, black outrage does not excuse actions. Very true. Before I start looping, do we have another clip?
Yeah, we got 2 more.
2 more. Let's keep it going.
All right, so we'll watch these last 2, and then we'll give final thoughts, and then we'll give the fans. Again, guys, if you're a member, hop into members waiting. I don't care what show you're a member of, just hop in members waiting, because we want opinions of fans that are watching, right? This is the only way people need to be heard, right? So get in members waiting. We got 2 more videos to watch. We'll give final thoughts onto the members. So Zily and her.
I'm sorry.
Zily just kind of went off and called out Keem for his BS, as it was called. I felt her words definitely held meaning. Hold on 1 second. Michael Hart said I dropped the ball, Ken. Again, bro. I don't know if you could really say that. I've explained myself numerous times over what was going on in my head and what was happening. It is what it is. All right, hold on.
Supreme Leader Bread super chatted $20. Kelly did cower. She cried for Ken to protect her. Then he shifted the blame onto Kelly when Keem was going to Becky's cabin to tell her to go home. Man wants to shove his wife to tell her it's her fault for being the way.
Yeah. Again, I've explained this so many damn times. I'm tired of explaining myself, but there was a lot going on in my head. And when they're moving and you see me stop, right, I stopped and stepped to the right. They were in the middle of that table. They were literally between Boogie and the table. It was like 8 or 9 inches of room, bro. Where was I going to go? Where was I going to go? The other thing is, if I just hauled off and just chin-checked Wings and he dropped on the ground, I'm going to jail for assault. And then I'm being trespassed and I'm in a Texas jail, right? That's 2. Number 3, everything happened so damn fast. There was a lot going on in my head, right? I'm a big dude. If I'm getting swung around or I'm trying to fight Wings, I could have kicked someone, elbowed someone, hit someone accidentally, trying to stop this dude. There was just a lot of shit that went through my head in a short 5-second time span. And when he initially went towards Boogie and Keem fast, I didn't know he was going to do that, bro. I thought he was just walking. The next thing you know, he tries to take off, and that's when me and Kelly grab him. That's why I had my hand around his waist, because I was behind him, and I was trying to hold him back. Kelly was also trying to stop him. It was just a lot of stuff going on, bro. If Kelly wasn't there, I felt I could have done more. But I was worried about like punching or elbowing Kelly by mistake or hitting someone else by mistake. There was just a lot going on through my head, bro. And obviously,
very little space.
Hindsight's always 20/20, right? You can go back and say, yeah, I should have done this. Fucking sports teams do that shit all the time. They'll go back and watch film like, all right, this is what we can do and this is how we can do better. Bro, there was no fucking rehearsal. There was no, all right, Wings is going to fucking run and try to hit Keemstar. Ken, you're going to do this, Kelly. There was no fucking rehearsal. It all happened so damn fast. I didn't have a lot of time to react and do what I wanted to do. What I was worried about is not hitting someone inadvertently. When they went in, before the push happened, they went into that table. What the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do? Right? Everyone can sit there and talk all this shit to me, say all this shit to me. Bro, you weren't fucking there. You wouldn't have done shit. I promise you wouldn't have done shit. I was the only dude that fucking tried to grab Wings and stop him. I was the only fucking dude. All Mike was worried about was fucking recording on the film. Keem walked away because obviously he didn't want to get into a fight after what happened. I'm not blaming Keem. And Boogie was just fucking sitting there. And other people were behind the camera because they didn't want to be on camera. All right? I was the only fucking dude that stepped up and tried to stop him. So fuck you. Fuck you.
You were there, and that moment literally put everybody in a standstill. And I do agree with people like applauding Kyrie for coming up to Wings and, you know, yelling in his face like, dude, that's your fucking wife. But nobody wants to applaud you who literally jumped in and tried to stop him at least. I think a lot of people should get, you know, I'm not saying a pat on the back, but it should be recognized that a lot of people tried to do something and nobody was there. It was a shit show, to say the least. Even I was behind the camera. I knew I couldn't do anything. Like, look at me. I can't do anything. But I was like, the only thing I can do right now, doing my part, is making sure that every bit of this is caught on camera. And that's what I did, you know, all the way up to them unplugging it. And then I had to plug it back in and make sure that everything was still recording. But we try to do everything that we can. Mooch with the $5 said, Wings has a right to help offline in real life.
Super chatted $20. Wings needs a rehearsal on how to treat his wife. And brother, it's not your fault, Ken.
I appreciate the Supreme. Thank you. It's just Michael Hart just triggered me. I'm sorry, guys. That's not normal me. I'm not mad. He just kind of triggered me. And then he said it was my fault. I could have dropped Wings. Kelly was on the table. Bro, again, you weren't there. I don't give a fuck what you say. Keep talking shit. You know, you're a fucking grown-ass man that's talking behind a fucking keyboard that wasn't there, that didn't know what the fuck happened, didn't know what happened off camera or any of that shit. You don't know, bro. Just keep talking. Just keep fucking talking. I don't care. What were you saying, though?
Just going back to what Mooch said, Mooch for the $5. Wings has a right to help offline in real life. Bringing him back is ridiculous. LCL the other night showed he's learned zero, except he looks bad, lost money. So he does look bad, and you know he did lose some money. But the only part of LCL that I heard before falling asleep was him talking about his finances. Right? He was talking about he barely touched the money that he's earned from LCL. He has a lot of money still from his fight with Boogie. Well, since you want to talk about finances so much, I think you should donate majority of that to a DV shelter, kind of like what Tina has done. She made her own shelter. She's worked with women like that. Maybe you should donate majority of that money to a shelter or work with women of DV and show people that you are truly sorry, and maybe you should start back from zero, because that's basically what you did to everybody here. Even I'm getting emotional.
You froze. I don't know if that's me or...
You did that, everyone. You were being... Everybody thought you were on a good path. Everybody thought that you were making such good progress.
You froze for a second, and then you just went fast forward all of a sudden. Kind of the same thing that happened yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
You're good, bro.
Oh, I thought there was another TTS, but he was Wings of Redemption. I don't know what part cut out. He was Wings of Redemption. He was making good progress. And then all of a sudden, he just reset everything. Maybe you should reset your finances, okay? You need to hurt the way that you made the audience hurt. You should show people you're truly sorry. Because the number one thing I have heard from Wings over and over again is money. He really cares about money. Well, show people you really care by donating a lot of your money to a situation and show people you're sorry. That's all I can say. That is one way that he can show that he is truly sorry. Because there is nothing else I can imagine that can truly hurt Wings the way that it needs to, unless Kelly's gonna leave him and divorce him or whatever. But Jesus Christ. Thank you, Carl, for becoming a Ban World member.
Yeah. So real quick, Michael apologized. Thank you, Michael. I accept your apology. Like I said, bro, it's just, I'm tired of explaining this shit. And literally, if you look at all the channels that cover this, my name will always be synonymous with what happened. Always be synonymous, because I'm the dude that tried to stop Wings, and I'm the dude that didn't do enough for all that other shit, right? So it is what it is, bro. I'm not mad at you. I'm just triggered because I heard a lot. But thank you for the apology. I accept it. You're a big man for that. Thank you. SCS PSA: if you have a top heavy guy doing or going into rage like that, go for the legs, trip them. They typically will go down easy. I appreciate that. That's what I laughed at. Thank you. And then Seth looks, for the sake of argument, take Kelly out of it. Wings is so incapable of controlling his emotions, he tried to get violent with his boss twice. If Kelly wasn't in there and it was just me trying to hold him back, I would have done more. But at the same time, I don't want to look back at 2020, right? Hindsight's 2020, but I don't want to use that here right now. That's not what I'm here to do. But,
a lot of people are saying, real quick, a lot of people are saying like they don't agree with me, like money isn't going to solve things. This is probably part of the part that got cut out whenever I froze. I didn't say just donating. I said donating, do community work, and do real anger management classes if you're truly going to come back. I don't agree with him coming back to begin with, but if you are going to come back, at least do something big. Some people are chiming in saying that I think he should do charity streams for DV at least, so he's not financially destitute, and at least donate the amount he made from that camp.
Yep. All right, so let's go and watch these clips because we got 20 minutes left. I want to make sure we get some fans in here to talk. Let's play these last two clips and we'll get them in here. Actually, we'll play this one clip and then we'll summarize it because, like I said, I think this is a clip I really want to play.
I'm sorry, Keemstar, you are my friend, but don't bullshit me. Just say the motherfucker is back. Just say, stop ball teasing people. Just fucking say he's back. Just fucking say he's back, and you don't care what anybody fucking thinks. You go around telling people, don't listen to the chat. You don't ever care about what the fucking chat thinks, but goddamn, if you didn't you didn't put a poll in the chat to see what the chat thinks when it came to that. Just stop bullshitting. Just say he's back. I'm not stupid.
Dead air. Lot of dead air.
And that was yelling
I
at
see what
Keem,
you
it was
mean.
not yelling at you, Billy.
I don't.
So, this is going to be, and then the last one is Zily calling out Wings lies. I think y'all get the point. So before we bring people in here, all I'm going to say is, I think it's a serious consideration and something Keem's going to have to think about. If he does bring Wings back, what if Zily and Tina say they're going to walk? Will he allow those two to walk to bring Wings back? If it's that serious and they feel that strongly about it, you're really going to have to think about that, Keem. You really will. And I know a lot of people want to equate this to, you know, what happened in the past. He said Boogie was fired when the whole cancer thing happened, yet Boogie appeared on every single episode after he was fired. Obviously, this is different than Wings. He's been on record not liking what Wings did and what Wings kind of said or whatever. But a lot of people don't like the fact that he, quote unquote, made a mockery of it last night. People are calling it a mockery of what he did with the whole table and all that shit. So, with the part 2 coming tonight, we'll have to see the direction he takes it. He did the announcement last night that he's good at putting out fires, so let the man put the fire out. I'm curious to see how he will try to do this one, especially with people taking away monetary support. Publicly, anyway. Any final words, Miss Beans, before we start bringing people in?
I want to hear what the people got to say because the people are the ones who are most important in the situation.
Exactly. So, docket team, thank you for that beautiful docket. It was amazing. Lady Nerd Artist has been the #1 Cute Ken supporter, so we'll bring in Lady Nerd Artist. Lady Nerd Artist, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing. I definitely have a lot of feelings on this.
Yep. First, I want to say thank you for the support and making me do all that cute shit. I really appreciate it. I think it made the fans laugh and made you laugh, I'm sure. We kind of needed that to break up the bad things happening. But what are your thoughts? What do you got for us?
Well, I mean, so I want to touch on like what you were saying about your position. I know where you've been. I've had to get through 2 men, and I'm like 5'5". Both of those dumbasses were 6 feet.
Yep.
And I can definitely agree that is not a situation I want to be in again, and I definitely screamed at both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can completely understand. I mean, one was close to 300, just not. But
yeah.
I think what I said in the BC last night when Beans was there was I think you guys should unionize.
I mean,
and I definitely think like
people have brought that up in the past. I don't know how well that would really go, but you know, I mean, honestly, I don't know if Keem would even want to deal with that. He'd probably just shut all this shit down and be done with it, because I'm sure he doesn't even want to deal with that, to be honest. But that's just my own opinion.
Yeah, but he kind of brought it on himself by doing this with Wings. Like, I'm gonna preface this: I really dislike Zily for stuff that she's done in the past.
Okay.
But her being in this position, I don't think it's fair. I've had to be put in a similar position, even though where something happened to me and my group of friends still hung out with that person.
Mm-hmm.
There was no money involved, and I can't look at them the same way after it.
No, I get that. And, you know, you definitely don't want to hear people in that position having to make those decisions, you know what I mean? And I hate that happened to you. I really do. I hope.
It is what it is.
I hope you've grown from it and gotten stronger, and hopefully lessons learned. So when I say that, it means you know what to pick up on to avoid that situation again. That's what I say about lessons learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we bring in the other two people, do you think there's a chance maybe some hosts could walk if Wings comes back?
I mean, you guys are definitely personalities. I don't think, I mean, no offense. I love you guys. And I know that if you leave, you'll probably be able to start like your own successful shows. Like, for example, as Zily being the main person here of this, she has her own show that she makes a somewhat living off of. On top of that, she does have connections to other creators. So does Billy. Everyone, I believe, everyone has like their own niche. No one comes in here entirely new. Like, you don't see dipshits like me up on, your guys' show.
No, I got you. I just think, when I ask that question, I think there's probably a couple hosts that would walk if Wings came back. That's all I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that at this point, I wouldn't blame anyone who decided to walk. I completely understand, and I definitely think that this Wings conversation needs to be, like, not content. Like, yeah. I hate to say it, but I think, like, like what I said earlier is, like, 2 shows need to be, like, canceled for a night, and everyone who wants to remain a host needs to sit down and have a talk with Keem. More than just this, because I'm sorry, I love you guys. I love the drama. I didn't get a lot of it in high school, and this is like my replacement for high school, but
yep.
But it's starting to become like every other fucking day. Someone
else.
Touched this,
Yeah.
Zay, like, I don't, like, it's 1 week, it's Zay complaining the Discord's not safe. Another week, Becky and her issues. Another week, Psycho Mom. I think there needs to be, like, a genuine sit-down. Like, he keeps talking like he's this big professional. But he still sounds like the shock jock he was back when him and Tommy were just guys.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people have the same feelings as you do. Everybody loves the drama. That's why you're all here. But there's a difference between drama being just drama, like me bickering with Zayzud, for example. Like, that's drama that people can get into because we're just 2 girls fighting behind a screen, right? Like, it's nothing too serious. But when it comes to things like Becky throwing punches at Roxy and people actually like getting hurt and the accusations of sexual harassment in the Discord, like, this isn't like haha funny drama anymore. This is serious drama.
Yeah.
And people have their own problems in their households, and they usually tune in order to get away from that. So what are we doing as entertainers? We're not entertaining anybody, and we're not giving people that headspace that they like are trying to get away from. We're basically just becoming people's households and giving them more strife. That's why we wanted to build Cafe. Cafe is supposed to be chill. Cafe is supposed to be a little serious. Cafe today was supposed to be really cute, and look what happened. Like, I feel so bad because I want to entertain. I want to give people that space where they can get away. But whenever we have drama like this, people are going to leave because they don't want this type of drama. They want the funny haha drama. So what are we going to do in order to make sure that we can be haha funny drama and not in real life drama anymore?
Yep.
Personally, like I do think like that kind of a conversation needs to be had. You guys, everyone talks about like, talk about Zayzud, talk to Becky, be like, is this, like, at this point, is this even a character for both of them? Are they actually playing characters? Or is this just, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but everyone here has, like, some flavor of mental illness. Is this just their mental illness coming out?
Yeah.
Like, is this actually them for the hee-hee-ha-ha's, or is this the, oh my god, we need a 5150 your ass?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just to break up the seriousness just a little bit, Sterling is in chat saying not very ooh which I found very funny. But
right.
yeah, everybody has like their own mental illness and drama and everything of the sort. Actually, I know you were gonna say let's bring in some more people, but I do like your points, Lady Nerd Artist. Thank you so much for donating so
Definitely.
much that here can
You're
go
beautiful.
ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Mhm.
All right, Miss Lady, take care. Thank you for everything.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. So real quick, Supreme Leader Brett again with the 5. The more I watch Zily, the more I realize I act just like her. I was yelling the same shit last night about Keem sucking wings down to the ball. Whatever that means. And then Shifty, if it was Brantley that was in front of him, this would be totally different. Lockout Cafe. That's the point the other dude was making. So that's kind of what the sentiment, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna bring in Pirate and Boma. Pirate and Boma. What is going on?
Hey Pirate. Hey Bama.
Morning.
How you guys doing today?
Morning.
Chilling. How y'all? Beautiful morning.
Living
But the topics.
Yep. So
Topic's a little heavy for the coffee today.
that's it. So
Yeah.
Pirate, we'll let you go off, Queen. What you got?
Okay. Well, I was thinking about what I was gonna say because you have to be careful how you word things. You don't sound a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say is you cannot force when it comes to anger and managing anger. You have to, like, from personal experience, I used to be a very angry, hateful person in my early 20s. Well, actually my whole life until I got help. And that takes years. That takes years to dive into why do you have all that hatred, try to explain it, try to quantify it, and then the steps to get past your hatred.
Yeah.
And anger. So it's not something you can't be recording wings, doing therapy sessions. Like, it's not gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, it almost seems like if they do recording like 2 or 3 sessions, that it's purely going to be for content, not like true real therapy, you know? So
Yeah.
that's some shit you got to think about. So I appreciate that. Boma, what you got, bro?
I'm also trying to figure out how I should word this as well. I like Jordy a lot. I'm gonna just start off by saying that I really do. And you know what happened, I think, was the little worst possible thing that could ever happen on an LCU show ever. But my whole disposition is that, you know, I've done a lot of lonely crusades in my life, and the whole basis of really what I've learned just growing up is, like, you know, I can't be mad for somebody else if they're not mad for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Kelly very clearly says that she's not a victim. Okay, I feel like, just personally, it would be really disrespectful to treat Kelly as if she was a victim. And another thing I want to say too is that, you know, I truthfully believe, just throughout my life and experience, I truthfully believe that nobody really is a good person. Even if you have the best intentions possible, you're always going to end up hurting somebody else, even if that wasn't your intention. That's just how life is. You know what I'm saying? And there's an old adage saying that I'm sure everybody in this call has heard: the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? Now, very clearly, with what Jordy did, there was no good intentions there at all. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like people, because the situation is so serious, and I get everybody's opinion, even on the other side, I feel like they are just tearing down Jordy's character and making him seem like he's this awful person, as if the other things that he's done throughout his life just doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, you know, since he's been on the internet and since, you know, he's had these issues, like he said before, he's grown up and become like an adult male on the internet, right? He went through his 20s and 30s literally on the internet. So, unfortunately, a lot of it's been negative. You know, he's had some bad takes. He tried to be the shock jock on PKA. A lot of that followed him. And there really hasn't been a lot of positive Wings content out there, right? There really hasn't. So when you have things like that and you go through things like that, When this happens with your wife, it's going to get amplified a hell of a lot more than if it was someone else. And that's just being honest, you know?
Yeah, and I will say this just real quick. When it comes to other people walking, you know, I've been watching just when it was just Locale Live, you know, since day one, since the Tommy days. And this is going to be my only controversial take.
Okay.
If people are going to walk, they walk. I mean, Locale Live is the main show.
Yeah.
So if they walk, they walk. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to watch Locale Live. You know, I love all the other shows. But if they walk, they walk. It is what it is. And I don't think Keem should feel bad about that. I don't think Keem should be made to feel bad about that. If what he wants to do with his company. All right, and that's it. I'll let you guys go. Thank you.
Cool. Take care, brother.
Thank you so much, Pirate.
I also got one last thing I want to say, then I'm gonna hop off too. The one thing is that people are here are clearly and obviously looking for a solution. Whether that's Jordy continues his tenure on Locale Live, you know what I'm saying, or he doesn't. The one thing I really want to like just hammer is like I see people saying that Jordy should go to jail. And personally, I feel like that is the dumbest take that anybody could ever have. And the reason I feel like that is because Kelly very clearly has stated that she is not a victim. So now, if you want Jordy to go to jail, I feel like now you're just breaking up a home for no reason.
Yeah, I get that. Totally get that.
And that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate y'all so much for having me on here.
No problem, bro.
Ken, you a good Virginia boy like myself. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
You know, we don't get hurt. We just rub some dirt on it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's how it works, bro. All right, take care, man.
You too.
Later. So, great points. You know,
A lot of different opinions.
A lot of different opinions. The issue is the LCU is so big, and there's so many others that are here that can type on a keyboard or come on a show and talk. There's going to be a lot of opinions. A lot of people think this should be handled a certain type of way from one extreme to the other.
Mm-hmm.
All this is really going to be on the boss man himself to figure out what he wants to deal with. Does he want a dynamic without wings and piss off some fans? Or does he want to try to bring wings back, deal with that backlash, and then, again, satisfy the fans that want him back and go back to what it was? I'm happy. I'm not the one that has to make that decision. But since we have 2 minutes left, I'm going to let you go off, Queen. We have the redirect already in there. I guess Twiggy may be getting punished or Twiggy silenced something. I have no idea. But we'll see what happens with Twiggy if Rastov shows up or not. But final thoughts, Miss Beans, have at it.
Final thoughts. I think that a lot of people, I didn't see much from yesterday. Now I have a lot of opinions as well. But something that I do want to bring up to people is that it's not going to be a lot of heavy drama for the next couple of days. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. I know that myself and other smaller shows have been talking about our dramas, and we are trying to resolve our dramas in order to add more fun to the LCU, especially with this big heavy topic looming over everybody. Yep. So there are going to be some fun out of the smaller channels. Hopefully we can see what goes on in part 2 of the LCL. Twiggy's coming up. Stay tuned for that. Can we end it with an ooh woo to keep the cute cafe? Exactly. I don't want to waste my thumbnail of the cute cafe. I think I did a pretty good job.
Amazing.
So let's end on a lighter topic and just ooh woo, stick for Twiggy, and hopefully you have a wonderful day other than this heavy drama.
Thank you for the support, by the way,
Love
guys.
you.
The support was amazing today. Like, seriously, thank you. It means a lot to us. It's 12 o'clock. We're going to send you to Aussie now. Go see what Twiggy does and if he can or can't. Ooh, woo! The rest of your day. Take care, everybody.